Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Hey, Ogimaa, I've been hearing a lot about this term, climate justice. What is that?
Climate justice is recognizing that the negative impacts of climate change don't affect all people equally. It also means transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy to a more sustainable future. MN 350 is one of the groups that's pushing for this transition to protect our futures. You can even get involved too.
That's great, especially since I'm concerned about pipeline projects like Line 3. How can I help MN 350?
Just find them on Facebook or visit mn350.org.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States, and 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected. Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf. Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy. As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired. Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies tonight with a low around 43, Saturday sunny with a high near 75, and Sunday sunny with a high around 76. Since 1984, Cafe Latte has been serving up the freshest baked goods and modern comfort food in a cafeteria setting. Their menu is prepared with the best ingredients available. Cafe Latte is a leader in sustainable dining, composting their food and paper waste along with recycling everything they can. Located off Victoria and Grand in St. Paul, or at cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous. Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot, and we discuss local and national Native news and events. And as you know, Wendy, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
This portion of the show is brought to you by the Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
I want to howl.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, Wendy. So today it was beautiful beautiful day here in the Twin Cities of Minnesota.
Get a little heat wave.
Yeah, and I walked.
An
I felt
Indian
like
summer.
Easy. I walked 2 times today, and I got 21,000 steps, and that's 10 miles.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna have you and Ogimaa take over the show because I'm gonna take a little nappy. But yeah, it's beautiful, and it should be beautiful the next couple days.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be in the 30s and be a little close to 80. So global warming is a thing, but we're enjoying it until we don't.
Exactly.
You're a little tie-tied too, it seems like. Hey, let's get to Ogimaa with the news that you don't hear anywhere else. Ogimaa, welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake.
Hi, Abuju, Anin, everybody. I am Ogimaa Ganuakwe. I am a citizen of the Red Lake Nation in northern Minnesota, and I want to touch base on a little news. First things first, I want to give a shout out to Ho-Chunk filmmaker Sky Hopinka and Potawatomi botanist Robin Wall Kammerer. They are this year's winner. They are 2 of this year's winners, for the MacArthur Fellowship. The MacArthur Fellowship, also known as the Genius Grant, is worth $800,000, and they're from the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation to support creative people in various fields whose work addresses pressing social challenges. So Sky Hopinka from the Ho-Chunk Nation, shout out to Ho-Chunk Nation, Robert Pilot. He's a filmmaker, a photographer, and a videographer, and he creates centered projects around Indigenous work and perspectives. So he's been featured at the Sundance Film Festival, Toronto International Film Festival, and the Museum of Art in New York, as well as many other museums and festivals. And Mr. Robin Wall Kamara, Robin Wall Kamara from the Potawatomi Nation is a professor and author whose book includes Braiding Sweetgrass. And they're 2 of the 25 winners of the 2022 MacArthur Grants this year. So I'm really excited and happy to see that we have so many people, Native people represented in that this year. I mean, 2 out of 25. I mean, I'll take it, right, Robert?
Yeah, definitely. And a big Pinigigi and congratulations to our Ho-Chunk brother. Wendy, did
Yes.
you read that book? We do know that book, though, right?
Braiding Sweetgrass. Yes.
That's somewhere here.
I hear really good things about it, but I actually don't have a copy of it. So if anybody happens to have a copy of it that they could let me know, I'll probably have to start over by give a call up to Birch Park Books, huh, Robert? They're not a sponsor
Yes.
yet, but maybe they will be now that they hear me say their name on it.
A couple times wish upon a star. Oh,
Right. I just want to mention that this week marked the 50th anniversary of the Clean Water Act and remind everybody as water protectors that it is our duty to protect water, protect land, protect sovereignty, and community as Native people and as Native allies. So if you are not yet involved, make sure that you're following up on water projects that could be damaging in your area. In Wisconsin, Line 5 is a pretty huge threat that's happening. There's also some other requests for mining and other things. In Minnesota, we have the aquifer breach from Line 3. We have the Huber Mill. We have train merger threatening to bring flammable and dangerous trains through the White Earth Nation. We have the Tamarack mine for copper and nickel and sulfide mines. So we have all these things that are threatening land, water, air, and community. Here in Minnesota, over in Wisconsin, Line 5 extends over into Michigan. We have a lot of things that we need to be working towards right now. So if you are not yet involved, make sure you are finding ways to get involved and you're finding ways to protect water. And at the very least, you're conserving. Another thing that is currently under attack right now is ICWA, which is the Indian Child Welfare Act. And next week on October 27th, Thursday, October 27th from 6 to 8 p.m., there is a free hybrid event talking about how the Indian Child Welfare Act is under attack and what we can do about it. It is in person at the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center on South 15th Avenue in Minneapolis, or it's available on Zoom online. It is presented by the Muid Family Preservation Subcommittee, and it is available on Eventbrite, or you can check the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center's social media to find the link to sign up. So if you've got time to do that, you should definitely do that. Joy Harjo and Laylee Long Soldier were just in Minneapolis. Yeah. But I also found out that Joy Harjo received a Lifetime Achievement Award for the 2022 National Arts Awards in New York City. Which I just found out about. It happened on the 17th, Monday, and she received this really prestigious award in New York. And the National Arts Award has a lot of founders and individuals and corporations that kind of sponsor it. And it's a national nonprofit organization that advances the arts and education advocacy in America. And Joy Harjo received it because of her poet performance and written work, and because she serves 3 terms as the Poet Laureate of the United States. So really excited to see her getting some more awards and moving forward with her writing career, even though she has passed the torch as the Poet Laureate. Wanted to highlight an event that's coming up for Native American Community Clinic locally tonight. The St. Paul Chamber Orchestra presents Living Traditions tonight, Friday, October 21st, 2022, starting at 7 p.m. at the NACD and All My Relations Arts Gallery, and I believe it was Native American Community Clinic who just posted this. So I wanted to give a shout out to them for showing that to me. I think Robert Lilligren touched base on it yesterday. But it's going to be this really beautiful orchestra concert happening in the Twin Cities. And make sure if you have the time to shoot on over there after the show's over at 7:00, make sure to stop in. That looks really fabulous. And I also want to give a shout out to the artist Wes Studi, artist and actor, received a prize for the Chief Standing Bear Prize for Courage for 2022, which was also really exciting to see. Wes Studi, if you're not familiar, is a Native American actor and has been an activist and has been, I think he's probably one of the most recognizable Native actors. Would you agree with that, Robert?
Yeah, and he was on a couple times on Reservation Dogs too.
Yes,
And,
yes, he was definitely on
Untold.
Reservation Dogs a couple of times.
One of the Untold.
The last shout out that I want to give today in news is to Miss Betty LeDuc, mother of activist and Honor the Earth co-founder Winona LeDuc, who is turning 90 this year, but is still incredibly active with her art. She's a beautiful artist. She does painting and live sculptured arts relating with everything from oh gosh, she's been doing art most of her life. So she's done everything from anti-nukes to current. Her most current event is at the Corvallis Art Gallery in Oregon, where she resides, and it's called Fire, Fury, and Resilience. If you have a time, check out bettyleduc.com and give one of our elders and artists some props for her beautiful work.
Hey, Pinagigi Ogimaa with the news. Up next, State Senator Mary Kunesh. You're listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake.
Stay with us.
Unwanted sexting or photos, inappropriate jokes, even tickling or wrestling can feel like a violation. Catcalling, cornering, or groping, getting them drunk or high for sex, recording sexual acts without permission, hurting someone because of their sexual orientation, raping a family member, a child, a date, a friend, a stranger, purchasing a human being for sex. You make the choice every single time. Sexual violence is many things. Make a choice. Do not do it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, Ogimaa, I've been hearing a lot about this term, climate justice. What is that?
Climate justice is recognizing that the negative impacts of climate change don't affect all people equally. It also means transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy to a more sustainable future. MN 350 is one of the groups that's pushing for this transition to protect our futures. You can even get involved too.
That's great, especially since I'm concerned about pipeline projects like Line 3. How can I help MN 350?
Just find them on Facebook or visit mn350.org.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus over 30 extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Join the Midtown Phillips Neighborhood Association for community conversation about improving traffic safety in the neighborhood. It takes place virtually on Tuesday, October 25th at 6:30. The City of Minneapolis and the Midtown Greenway Coalition will talk about the Phillips Traffic Safety Project. The project's goal is to reduce speeding and improve traffic safety. These improvements will make the street more comfortable for people who walk, roll, or drive. Again, that's a virtual community conversation about the Phillips Traffic Safety Project on Tuesday, October 25th at 6:30. Find the Zoom link at midtownphillips.org.
This is Leonard Peltier. I am in Coleman 1, U.S. Penitentiary, and I'm listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is brought to you by MN 350, a grassroots organization fighting for climate justice. And this portion of the show is also brought to you by the Native American Community Development Institute in Minneapolis.
NADKI.
Yes.
I like saying that. Hey, we're here. It's Friday. Yes. Thank you. I'm just going to make an excuse that I walked 21,000 steps today for the show today. So I'm going to be saying barely hardly anything, if
Sounds
that's
good.
even English right there.
Mhm.
Hey, we have State Senator Mary Kunesh on, and we always enjoy having Mary on. And then later on, Wendy will have some fun facts. And I will be staying awake for all this, the rest of the show. So welcome, State Senator Mary Kunesh.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here this evening.
Hey, how's it going? You're just coming back from Bemidji, I hear. What's going on there?
It was a quick up. I went up there last night and got up there about 10 o'clock at night and flew back down here for, well, first of all, to go to that concert tonight, which I am really looking forward to. It's interesting because there's a Serenade for Winds by Antonia Dvorak. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, that celebrates his Czech homeland. And my heritage is not only Lakota, but Czech. I'm probably most Czech of anything because my dad was Czech. And so this will be an interesting opportunity to hear music and performance from that sort of represent a little bit of both of me, you know. But I was up north in Bemidji. That's almost a 4-hour drive for me because we had the opioid epidemic response advisory council meeting up there. We call it ORIC here in Minnesota. It's a committee that was established through legislation to develop and implement comprehensive and effective statewide efforts to address our opioid addiction and the overdose epidemic here in Minnesota. And so we have been having it held all around the state. We have it in different areas. And this morning from 10 until 2 p.m., we discussed the dollars that were coming in that are from a lawsuit, the pharmaceuticals who were responsible for this. It was conducted by our Attorney General, Keith Ellison, and he was able to be successful in those lawsuits. And so we have millions and millions and millions of dollars coming in to our state to address that issue. And what's interesting is there's also dollars coming from the federal government, and there's one track of funding that's just specifically for our tribes here in Minnesota. But then the other funding from the lawsuit, our Native tribes are also eligible for applying for grants to address it because this epidemic, this awful situation is really affecting our Native communities at the highest levels, as does everything, I guess, across the state, across the nation. So I was up there listening to the good work, and we had a lot of our agencies and folks that work with, you know, it's called moccasins on the ground work up in especially northern Minnesota come in and talk about the work that they're doing and where they see we need to not only continue investing in, but think outside of the box when it comes to addressing these sort of issues so that we can use traditional healing, look for cultural influences to address those issues, but also looking at how we can keep families intact through all of this, even though, you know, mom or dad or uncle or grandma, grandpa, have the addiction issue, how we can make it the least impactful on our youth so that they're growing up healthy and happy and not, you know, separating our family or being punitive in that way.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of stuff happening with the Native Americans here, and we seem to get the brunt of a lot of things, Wendy.
Yeah, the opioid crisis is just unbelievable. It really is so horrible, and how the pharmaceutical companies were involved in, you know, giving out all these drugs to, you know, brown and black communities higher than other communities. So it really is something. A friend of mine just got hurt and was in the hospital and needed pain medications for a surgery that they had. And, the doctors pretty much cut them off pretty quickly. And, I had to kind of explain that there's a very good reason for that, because these drugs are so highly addictive. And these doctors are really being monitored very carefully now because of this. And they don't want people to become addicted to these drugs. So.
Well, and to State Senator and Wendy, I think it's interesting. We've just gone through COVID and how, or going through COVID and how we've kind of laxed in our attention about this terrible epidemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always something. There's always something coming down the pike that we need to be addressing for our communities. And it can be exhausting, but I'm just always inspired by the people that are doing the work, the really, really, really hard work, and the really great work. Somebody told a story today about, I guess I don't remember exactly what the role of the person was, but like a social worker or, somebody that's helping the family, maybe like a guardian ad litem or something. And this person helped a mom and a young girl. The mom was really nervous about going to like an early childhood sort of meet and greet and registration. Filling out forms can be really intimidated when haven't had really good parenting, haven't learned about what it's like to be a parent and what kids need to, for the best way. And this person stayed with the mom. She picked them up, the mom and the little girl. She drove them to the school. They had the open house. She stayed there and helped get the little girl enrolled, met the teachers. It was just a really great night. And the mom and the little girl walked out of there, successful. And sometimes, that's what it takes to start them off on the right track. A couple of hours and somebody who's supportive, who understands the system, that is willing to be patient and do that kind of work. That's the sort of, I want to say, easy investment that doesn't cost a lot of money all the time, even though somebody's probably getting paid to do that. But those are the examples. And in Bemidji, which is a small town, I guess I don't know the population off the top of my head. I could look it up, but it's a small town on a lake up north. And their council member, Audrey Thayer, was there. And she told me they had 75 overdoses just in 1 year up there in that little community, which is a lot.
That's crazy.
And, yeah, it's just really, really heartbreaking that this is what's happening, in small towns and big towns. And we're working on it here.
15,000 residents in Bemidji.
15,075 overdoses. So, yeah.
Wow. Hey, so we're running down to 17 days left. I think Wendy and I is it tomorrow or Monday? We're going to go out. We're going to go and vote early.
Monday. Yep.
And we just need to encourage everybody, and especially everybody that's listening on this station live right now and even recorded, is that this is an important election, and I don't think there ever should be a term called midterm election anymore. They all should be important elections, and change that verbiage, because this is really serious. And I think if we get out there like I feel we're gonna, State Senator and Wendy, I really feel like we're gonna do well. But we got to make sure our people are out there, because we outnumber them.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it really comes down to like what you and Wendy are doing. Make a plan and then stick to it. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. It doesn't have to be on Monday, but make a plan to get out and vote. And as I've said in other Fridays, if you live a distance from any polling place, think of a reason to go there, whether it's to go into town for groceries, whether it's to go to a school performance, whatever it is, make a plan and stick to it. And get to the polling place. Remember, you can register right there, right then. And it's just really important that we go out and vote and vote for those that are going to be looking out for the best of your community.
Exactly. Wow. Hey, stay with us, State Senator, please. And you're listening to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake. And I'm your host, Robert Pilot. And we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, Wendy, and Ogimaa. We'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Hey, Wendy, what are we doing for dinner after the show?
How about we go to J. Selby's on 169 Victoria Street in St. Paul? They have a delicious plant-based menu that's compassionate and environmentally sustainable.
I'm getting their spot-on vegan Big Mac, the dirty secret.
You can pick up and they deliver within a 5-mile radius, or you can call them at 651-222-3263 or visit jselbys.com.
Well, you sold me, Wen. Let's go order at J. Selby's tonight.
I'm hungry.
Join the Midtown Phillips Neighborhood Association for community conversation about improving traffic safety in the neighborhood. It takes place virtually on Tuesday, October 25th at 6:30. The City of Minneapolis and the Midtown Greenway Coalition will talk about the Phillips Traffic Safety Project. The project's goal is to reduce speeding and improve traffic safety. These improvements will make the street more comfortable for people who walk, roll, or drive. Again, that's a virtual community conversation about the Phillips Traffic Safety Project on Tuesday, October 25th at 6:30. Find the Zoom link at midtownphillips.org.
This is Santita Jackson, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I couldn't be more excited about starting our days together, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Central on the Progressive Voice of Minnesota.
Would you let animals pick your insurance? Do you really need to experience mayhem to get the best rates? Or how about a celebrity quarterback or fake university saving you money? There's a lot of marketing stunts when it comes to insurance, but what you really need is someone looking out for you. Call Array Insurance, and they will work hard to find you the best insurance coverage and rates. So avoid gimmicks and call Cheryl at Array, 763-504-3067 or arrayinsurance.com. Array Insurance, working hard for you.
Think your company's safe? Your staff is working from home, right? As I speak, cyber criminals are mounting attacks across the country. Remember, when we're weakest, cyber criminals attack. Hi, Mark Sommerfeld from Rymark. The Rymark team is guiding our clients through these difficult times. In fact, demand has been so high, we created an easy-to-follow guide. It's yours free. Download our 5 steps to securely work from home now at rymarkit.com or call 651-328-8900 for a no-cost how-to discussion.
Hi, I'm Scott Shambot from Shambot Family Dentistry. We're the fear-free, shame-free dental office. If you're having a dental emergency, we'll try and get you in the same day you call because we don't like to see anyone in pain. And we'll help you get through every appointment in the most pain-free way possible. As my daughter Rachel says,
if you don't see my dad, please see another dentist. Take care of your teeth because they're the only ones you get.
Shamblat Family Dentistry in Hopkins and St. Paul. Find them online at shamblatfamilydentistry.com or call 1-800-FIX-MY-TEETH.
Habitation presents a radio drama. To buy or not to buy, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to compromise and live with a sectional that doth not fit my space, or to take up arms against a sea of mediocrity, and by opposing it, to rest, to be comfortable, to enjoy the space that is my home. Hi, this is Gregory Rich, owner of Habitation Design and host of Drink in the Style. I'd like to personally invite you to our new showroom located in the District at Edina, 7777 Washington Avenue South. Habitation, put some drama into your interior design.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies tonight with a low around 43, Saturday sunny with a high near 75, and Sunday sunny with a high around 76. Since 1984, Cafe Latte has been serving up the freshest baked goods and modern comfort food in a cafeteria setting. Their menu is prepared with the best ingredients available. Cafe Latte is a leader in sustainable dining, composting their food and paper waste along with recycling everything they can. Located on Victoria and Grand in St. Paul, or at cafelatte.com.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is brought to you by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, thank you for that read, Wendy. Hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh of Minnesota, and we're just talking about the importance of a lot of things, but definitely the vote or the election.
Yeah.
The election coming up.
Somebody said on Facebook that if you're worried more about abortion than you are the economy, you're crazy. My response to her was the economy is always going to come back, but your rights might not. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Welcome back, State Senator. And you are on mute right now. Here, I have this cup too.
I got it. I went and put my headphones on and then everything got.
Oh, they sound great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Cool. So, the election, we have a lot of good people that are running.
Mhm.
A lot of them are your friends and colleagues, and we really need to get the vote out. And like we were talking about, State Senator Wendy and I are planning to vote early and then help people get out there and vote. And I think that's part of what we should plan on doing when you say making a plan, right?
Right. And helping people. I mean, my niece, I was talking to her. She's in New York. She just had a baby. She's working full time. She's running around like a chicken without a head. And she's like, I don't know where my polling booth is. I don't know where I could vote early. I don't know where time they're open until. And I helped her and found all the information for her and just texted it to her, and she was like, thank you very much. I did not even have 5 minutes to go online to find out all this information. So you could just go ahead and help people, just do simple things like that.
It's so true. I really appreciate that you took the time to find that for her. Here in Minnesota, if you're not sure who's on the ballot, where to go up until the election for early voting or day of, because it does switch, you have more options day of, you can go to MNVotes, MNVOTES.org. It takes you right to the Secretary of State's website, and it just has like a plethora of information. Who can vote, who can't vote. If you have a felony, if you have met all of your all the requirements, you might be eligible to vote. If you are under guardianship, you might be able to vote. If you just moved to Minnesota, it'll tell you what you need to take with you to register. If you go in with your neighbor and your neighbor vouches for you, saying, yes, this is Robert Pilot, and yes, he lives right next door to me at blah, 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 you can register and you can vote. And so there are very few reasons why you would be turned away, and there are many reasons why you should go. And so when you are making that plan to go, see who else around you needs to go. If you're with a bunch of people, you know, you've got a group of friends or somebody that doesn't drive, maybe you're going to stop and have a bite to eat or pick up a few things at the grocery store on the way. So there's an opportunity to make it an occasion, you know, a celebration of voting, because, you know, if we want to remember, especially in our Native communities, we didn't always have that right. I think it wasn't until, I think it was the middle of the 50s that all states allowed their Native American people to vote. And then once they did, you know, once it finally was available or it was given the right, they didn't always tell them. You know, 2 years ago when we were doing Get Out the Vote, there were some elders that told me they didn't even know that they could vote in a general election. Nobody really told them or made it an issue, and they only thought that they could vote on tribal issues. So let's prove them wrong. Let's break all the records we broke last year or 2 years ago in an Indian country, and elect some really good people that are going to do the good work for us all.
Yeah, Mary, I think one of the things too that we're all over Wisconsin, and we really seriously pray for our Wisconsin voters and people that live there, because it's so gerrymandered there that we've got to get the vote out tremendously. I mean, we remember we had Tricia Zunker, who's Ho-Chunk, who is running, and person she ran against was crazy, and he still won. I mean, literally crazy, the stuff he was saying. And so we we encourage our Wisconsin listeners to get the vote out too, because we do outnumber them.
Well, and it's important, to look also and encourage those in the states that are around us. Minnesota is kind of a mecca in the middle of the Midwest. In Minnesota, abortions are still legal. We have support systems in place for that, but we're the only one. And we look at some of our neighbors and the stringent laws that they are passing, the very ultra conservative laws they are passing, not just for our Native communities, but also, for everybody. And so what happens in Wisconsin or North Dakota or South Dakota or Iowa, all of those things affect Minnesota. And what we do certainly affects our neighbors. And let's all be neighborly and encourage those around us to do their voting duties in those states as well.
Well, and I don't know how, you're a very classy politician, so I don't know how deep you want to get into it, but I just have to say, there is so much that depends on this election that could go haywire in many, many different directions. So I'm pleading everybody, and I think I will be, Wendy, the next 17 days, pleading with everyone to vote.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There is so much. I mean, just not even not just abortion. There's still a lot of COVID residue, but when we look at the economy, we're all suffering in so many. Oh yeah, somebody just put that. The economy is horrible. Look what happened in England. I mean, Great Britain. I mean, good Lord, who would have thought that cutting slashing the taxes of the rich and doing all the things that last prime minister did, and it just destroyed that economy in 45 days. Think about what is at stake here. You could get a governor, you could get a legislature that would do something like that. And then how do you dig out of that I don't even know if they know where to start. And so some of these ideas are not good ideas. Some of these people are not the kind of people that should be in those places of power, because it's the powerless. It's the powerless that it's going to affect. And those are mostly our communities of color. I would say mostly of course, our low and middle income, our new Americans, but it's also women. The economic power of women was very much affected by the pandemic, as many women found that they chose to either quit their jobs and help their kids with their online schooling, or cut back on it and are now just sort of starting to get back. So there is so much at stake, as well as our environment. I mean, I really worry if we had Republican people making decisions. You can imagine what would happen up in the Boundary Waters here in beautiful Minnesota. Look what happened in Bears Ears down in southern United States. You have to stop and think, what are going to be the repercussions of having people who are only looking to make that eternal dollar and not looking out for the future of our ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, but the next 7 and more plus generations, because really and truly right now what we do is going to have that lasting effect.
Exactly. Mary, we have somebody going up against the attorney general that has never tried a case, and the attorney general of Minnesota has won every case that he's tried as attorney general.
Mhm.
We have somebody that does not even know what Blaha does. She doesn't even know what she's running for. So we have this right-wing insanity going on here that people are buying into for many different reasons. But again, I got to say this, we outnumber them. Let's get our people out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I am perplexed by the fact that there are people running in Minnesota, such as Jensen for governor and the auditor and the AG, who are not ready for this kind of responsibility. And I'm sure there are people surrounding them that are saying, yes, go, we'll help, knowing that they will be able to be influential. But look what happened with Trump. He thought, he was going to get in there and do all that stuff, and he was surrounded by yes sayers, yay sayers, also looking out for their own interest. And now, as I drove back, hearing that they're all getting indicted, and it just gets worse and worse, and more corrupt, and more self-serving. And just when you think, oh my gosh, how could it have been that bad? We find out even more. So we just need people that are in there for the right reason, and the right reason is for the regular person. That's really what we want to do.
Exactly. Well, State Senator, thanks for stopping in. Any final, we got less than a minute, any final words of encouragement or how we can support you or in your work? Please let us know in the next 30 seconds.
Sure. All I want to say is please find your candidate, and in the next 17 days, if you would get out and door knock with them or make phone calls at least once a day, not only does that raise the spirits of the candidate, but it gets their message out. It shows the community that they have support, and it shows that you really, really made the difference when it comes to election night. So get out there, support your candidate in the best way that you can.
Wow, perfect way to end it. Peeny State Senator Mary Kunesh, almost said state representative, but State Senator Mary Kunesh, we really appreciate you stopping in and all the work you do around Indian country and your constituents in the state of Minnesota. So Peeny and have a great weekend.
Okay, we talk to everybody. Yeah, it's beautiful weather up here in Minnesota, so get out there this weekend and knock those doors.
That's right. Hey, we'll be right back with our sacred animal portion here. It's Fun Facts Friday with Wendy Pilot. You're listening to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake.
Stay with us. Hey, Ogimaa, I've been hearing a lot about this term, climate justice. What is that?
Climate justice is recognizing that the negative impacts of climate change don't affect all people equally. It also means transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy to a more sustainable future. MN 350 is one of the groups that's pushing for this transition to protect our futures. You can even get involved too.
That's great, especially since I'm concerned about pipeline projects like Line 3. How can I help MN 350?
Just find them on Facebook or visit mn350.org.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus over 30 extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States, and 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected. Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf. Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy. As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired. Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
We have a new wolf friend.
Yeah, it's a stress wolf.
Ooh.
Hey, it's Wendy Pilot time. I want to introduce my awesome and beautiful wife, Wendy. Wendy's been an animal advocate for many years, and we discuss, local and national animal events here.
Hey, everybody. My name is Hanaji Hihani. That means carers for them. I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajinga, which means walks on white clouds. I'm a humane policy volunteer leader for the Humane Society of the United States, and I work on animal issues at the local and state level, and I love to do that work. Today is Fun Fact Friday, which I love to do because it's kind of fun, and you learn about crazy little things about animals that you would never even think of. Before we get started with that, I just want to mention Howling for Wolves. Exactly. Save the date. February 7th, 2023. It's going to be Wolf Day at the state capitol here in St. Paul. Non-lethal, keep the pack intact. So we'll come up with when we get closer, we'll have I love that, right? Non-lethal, keep the pack intact. So Wolf Day at the Minnesota State Capitol, February 7th. Just save the date, put it on your calendar, and I'll let you know more details as we get closer.
Yeah, it's always Wolf Day for me.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. Hopefully a lot of people will show up. Last year because of COVID, there was a very small Wolf Day, and I think I wasn't feeling good that day. And I remember Wolf Day, but in years past, I have gone to Wolf Day, so it's really fun. But I have some fun facts here for Friday.
I remember one time you had fun facts were really a downer, and we were crying, laughing so hard because they were. Are these going to be fun?
These are fun.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to skip over the not so fun ones.
Yeah.
Because there are some fun facts that are really not fun.
Yeah. They're just facts, aren't they?
Yeah. So I won't go to those. But, gorillas can catch human colds and other illnesses. So just stay away from the gorillas and cover your mouth with your elbow if you have to sneeze around them. That's all I have to say.
That was a borderline one. Okay.
What? That was a fun one. A newborn Chinese water deer is so small it can almost be held in the palm of your hand.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah, I should have gotten a picture and put it up, but I just didn't do that.
What is it again?
It's a newborn Chinese water deer. Yeah, I don't know. Ostriches. Oh my goodness.
You sound like me.
Can run faster than horses, and the males can roar like a lion.
Oh, that is a fun fact.
Ostriches,
ostriches.
Yeah, they're a little bit. They could run really fast. Yeah, so you got to be careful. You have to be careful around them because they could be dangerous, I think.
Ostrich.
A lion in the wild usually makes no more than 20 kills per year.
There must be big ones then.
I just don't understand how they could just kill 20 animals and live the whole time.
Maybe they just eat so much and then they're bloated and then it takes a while
for it to digest. I would think like a lion, and I think I've said this before and I didn't know this fact, but just reading it again made me think about it because, you think that a lion has to go out every day and kill something to eat, but it doesn't. Yeah, it makes no more than 20 kills a year.
That's less than one a week.
Yeah,
That's like one every 2
crazy.
weeks.
I know. All right. Well, if the fun facts say that, it must be true.
Yes.
A female lion does 90% of the hunting.
Well, and I think the female here does 90% of the cooking and cleaning.
Oh my gosh. Handmaid's Tale, here we are.
Easy.
The world's smallest dog was a Yorkshire Terrier,
Yeah.
which weighed just 4 ounces.
What?
Yeah. That's crazy.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
Oh.
that's a teeny tiny little dog.
I know,
a
but
Yorkshire Terrier.
that's
It was
just the record.
probably bred from the runt of each litter, so that they would, take the male and female from different litters who were the runt and keep breeding those to make the smallest dogs.
I have problems
how
with
they-
a 10-pound dog squishing them. What am I going to do with a 4-ounce dog?
I know. Wouldn't be able to sleep in bed with you because you'd surely just roll it over and smash it. Turtles, water snakes,
Fun Fact
crocodiles, alligators, dolphins, whales, and other water-going creatures will drown if they're kept underwater for too long. That was kind of a downer.
I just got to update that
Here's
U.S.
one
Appeals Court.
Here's one I will skip.
Let me just say this: U.S.
Mhm.
Appeals Court just temporarily blocked Biden's student forgiveness loan. The courts blocked it.
Okay, say it again clearly.
So the U.S. Courts
Mm-hmm.
blocked the forgiveness loan, Biden's forgiveness loan. So now they blocked him. He can't do it.
Oh no,
Can't forgive because I
that's
guess
terrible.
everybody needs to be forgiven, and everyone's jealous that people are getting their
Listen,
loans
I
taken
paid
care of.
off. I went to school and had big school loans. I paid them off all by myself. But if somebody has the opportunity to get their school loans covered, I'm happy for them. Why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So it's okay. Jealousy is a sin anyway. Deers do not have any gallbladders.
Wow.
Okay, so a gallbladder, you know what the gallbladder does?
Cleans your blood?
Well, it's an organ in your body
Yep.
that stores bile, which is a chemical in your liver. So it stores bile. And then what happens is the gallbladder breaks down fatty foods with the bile from the liver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think deer would eat fatty foods, do they? They
run so much they probably burn off the fatty foods.
they just eat they're not
They eat little
carnivores,
berries.
they're herbivorous little.
Herbivorous.
Yeah.
I've heard that name before.
They right, they don't need gallbladders. And you know what? Humans don't really either. You could live without your gallbladder. You don't
That's
need
not
it.
try though.
There is an average of 50,000 spiders per acre in green areas. So anytime you see a green area, 1 acre has 50,000 spiders.
Hey, I think fun fact Friday, you said that we eat, each person eats 20 spiders a year or something
like
in
that.
their sleep.
Yeah, isn't that gross?
Is that the number?
I don't know what the number is. I don't remember, but it's something like that. Oh. Okay, what else do we have here? Snakes are carnivores. Okay, I have 1 minute left. Snakes are carnivores, which means they only eat animals, often small ones such as insects, birds, frogs, and other small mammals. A bat is the only mammal that can fly.
Wow.
I was thinking about that one though, but don't we have like flying squirrels, or maybe they just glide from one tree to the next? They don't really fly.
They just look like they fly because their skin,
Yeah.
it looks like a,
Right, yeah.
An airplane.
Okay,
No,
so bats are the only mammal that
I
can
thought we were
fly.
going to fly. Weren't we flying Delta? No?
Do I have one more? Or
Yes, you
no?
do.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
The leg bones of a bat are so thin that out of the 1,200 species of bats, only 2 can walk on the ground. These are the vampire bat and the burrowing bat.
I want to suck your blood. Hey, I want to thank State Senator Mary Kunesh, Ogimaa with the news, and Wendy with our sacred animal portion of the show that you don't hear anywhere else across the world. Hey, if you're listening to this show, you are part of resistance. I wanted to say we're still here. We are the 7th generation. Resist, divest, join a group, and run for office.
Free Leonard Peltier.
Now.
Hi, this is Chad from AM 950. Snap Construction is arguably the